You're joining us in the west of England, where we're on an adventure spanning 3 counties: Gloucestershire, Worcestershire and Herefordshire. In the previous episode, we made ourselves at home in some posh new surroundings.
So, we are here at our very grand accommodation. I'll give you the tour and I'll show you everything that there is to see.
We also explored the medieval market town of Tewkesbury, home to the 900-year-old Tewkesbury Abbey.
One of the things you sometimes notice with these really old churches is that instead of being a single construction, there's sort of different bits that have been added in different time periods.
And today's episode? Well, the next day wasn't super busy, so I'll give you the short version. We started by sampling the delights of rural driving.
The problem with the countryside is these bloody tractors.
Welcome!
Then we popped into a farmer's market at a nearby pub, where I purchased some ludicrously overpriced kimchi.
So I got some kimchi. Having recently attempted to make my own, I'm curious to compare. Expensive enough, not to mind you, £6. Hopefully it won't cause my hands to burn like the batch I made, but there we go.
After that, the shopping spree continued at the Hop Pocket. Garden centres like these have become something of a national obsession during the pandemic. I grabbed a few essentials and discovered that some roses by any other name would smell much sweeter.
So I think I found the most unfortunate name that any accountant ever had. Chris Pinches. Couldn't make it up, could you?
Sunday trading laws were about to call time on our shopping bonanza, so we picked up a few ingredients from the supermarket and headed back. Myself and my dear sweet mum had set ourselves the task of preparing a Sunday dinner for the family. Peeling potatoes, roasting chickens, overcooking Yorkshire puddings, you know the story. We pulled it off with magnificent aplomb. So that was day 2, but today we're exploring the quaint little town of Ledbury, whose quiet streets became a bloody battlefield during the English Civil War. And if that's not gory enough for you, our morning begins with an act of cold-blooded murder as a bit of fun in the sun turns nasty.
So I apologise, but the swing ball seems to have broken.
Look at this. Utter tragedy. Hang on. Let's just do a close-up on the sad... This man...
I'm undefeated.
Undefeated murderer of swing balls.
Oh wow, this is
so aggressive
where
today?
competition gets you guys. This is what competition does to you.
I mean, I won, and that's amazing.
No.
Crime of the century, and I believe they're still at large, so eyes peeled. Anyway, join us now as we cross the county border into beautiful Herefordshire.
So here we are in Ledbury. Can't tell you a whole lot about the town, but I'll give you the basics that I've gleaned from Wikipedia. The place was founded in 690 AD. There are also 4 major battles of the English Civil War fought near Ledbury.
I'm just going to interrupt myself here. Go and get a milkshake, you.
Vanilla and honey milkshake.
There's a good boy. Now, Ledbury wasn't just a place where some battles happened a long time ago. It was at the heart of the action during the most important conflict ever fought on English soil, the English Civil War. On one side was the King, Charles I, who wanted to reign with absolute power. Opposing him were the elected members of Parliament led by Oliver Cromwell. They wanted to check the King's authority. War broke out, and in April 1645 it exploded onto the streets of Ledbury. The royal commander, Prince Rupert, had withdrawn from the town, leaving it to the forces of Parliament, but he feared that Ledbury would be used against him as a base for raiding royal territory, so he wheeled his troops around and attacked. In these streets, men fought and died over England's future. Prince Rupert, who had the element of surprise, would win the day. His headquarters still stands in the centre of town.
It's interesting to think of that building, crawling with soldiers, messengers going backwards and forth between the command and the front lines, perhaps spies keeping an eye on the enemy camp, and of course nowadays, it's part of a quiet market town, unobserved, unregarded. Most people probably aren't even aware what it means.
The victory was short-lived. Parliament won the war and the king was beheaded. Prince Rupert was exiled and Oliver Cromwell ruled England as Lord Protector for nearly 15 years.
Now, Oliver Cromwell wasn't a very pleasant man at all. He was a deeply religious man, and like a lot of deeply religious men, he was a bit boring. And I don't want to say he tried to ban fun, but he certainly tried to ban a lot of fun things. He banned Christmas, he banned bright dresses, he banned alcohol, he banned the theatre, he banned football. Just about everything that didn't fit his religious worldview, he banned. And it was only a short period before the monarchy was restored. When that time came, they dug up the corpse of Oliver Cromwell, hung it in chains and executed it. Well, as well as you can execute a corpse anyway.
And while all this was going on, Ledbury's most famous landmark, its Market Hall, was under construction.
So behind me is the Market Hall of Ledbury, which dates back to 1617. And it was first created when a man by the name of Phillips decided to raise some funds for the creation of a market administration building in the town. And he raised £40 to see that project through, but unfortunately he died before it could be completed. So how did they manage to raise the funds to complete this building? Well, there was a fund for the provision of clothes to the poor, and they raided that and built the rest of the building out of that instead. Classic. Thankfully, to make it right, they decided in the end that they would every single year use some of the profits from the hall to provide clothes for the poor of the town. The upper level would have been used for storage, corn and the like, and the lower level would have been a place where local traders and merchants could set out their wares and hopefully make a profit.
We've got a bit more time to kill before our dinner reservation, so we stop in at the centuries-old Feathers Hotel for a little refreshment. Then it's off to the Olive Tree for a government discounted dinner. Apparently subsidising my gluttony is good for the economy, and why not? It's only money.
Well, dinner was absolutely lovely, and we got £10 off on our, was it Eat Out to Help Out? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Eat Out to Help Out.
Italian restaurant in Ledbury.
Olive Tree Italian restaurant here in Ledbury. Very nice indeed. 2 courses plus a side. I had 2 drinks, Becky had 1, and that came up to 35 or was it 25? Anyway, value for money, that's what I'll say.
That's it for another day. Tomorrow I'll be driving to Wales, but tonight I will need my beauty sleep. Well, I hope you learned something from the episode. Just imagine, the country ruled by a pompous posho with absolute power. We'd never let it happen today, would we? Like and subscribe for more first class comedy. Bye!